Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Fear-Free Passive Investing. My name is Lucas Miller, host of this channel on YouTube, host of the podcast under the same name, and I'm really excited to bring you today's video. But before we jump in and talk about monthly and quarterly and annual reporting, I just want to take a moment and let everybody know that I'm working on a passive investing course. It'll help everyone if you're just brand new to starting investing, or if you've made a couple investments before. Here's how to do a better job vetting your sponsor, vetting your deal, thinking about long-term goals with passive investing in commercial real estate, syndications and funds and things like that. So if you're really interested in that, I'm going to leave a description or a link down in the description to sign up for the pre-release, whatever you want to call it, email list. Basically, you put your email down and I email you when it's ready. It's totally free. It's going to be free for every single person, which is cool because I'm putting a ton of work into it. But you know the style of this channel is never any sales tactics. We're not going to catch you and put you into some sort of sales funnel where I upcharge you. None of that BS. It's literally free. You put your email down and I'll email it to you for free. So it's cool. And it's a lot like how I run things here on this channel, here in my business. I'm not here to get you to invest in deals. I'm here to help you invest in the best deals for you. And so in that same respect, we're going to be talking about reporting and what you can expect as an investor in a commercial deal, either a syndication or a fund, what you can expect with regards to that. So let's jump in and start talking about what you can expect. Let's go to the whiteboard here. I think number one, we're just going to start with monthly reporting, what you can expect on a monthly basis. Well, for one, you got to have financials. FINANCIL, whatever, if that's close. You want financials. You want to know how the property is doing. You want to know how much money you're making, how much money you're spending. You want to know what exactly you're spending money on. Some of these things are really basic, and forgive me if you know all this stuff, but a lot of people don't. You would be amazed how many investors I have that just don't even read the financials, which is crazy. But you know, that's their life, and that maybe they don't feel like doing it. They don't want to. I'm not here to judge anyone. But you want to have pictures, maybe some videos, maybe if you're really crazy, maybe a podcast. I don't do either of these things right now, which is kind of funny because I do videos on YouTube, but maybe I'll start doing more videos. The thing is with that, you don't want an undue burden on the sponsor. You don't want to request these things like, hey, I want a walking tour of the property every single month. It should be included. That's a lot to ask. You know, first of all, sponsors probably aren't even going there on a regular basis. And you do need to have a level of trust that they are taking care of these things. Hopefully that was in your vetting process when you did invest with them. But it would be nice to see some of those things in a monthly report. But you definitely need to have construction and rehab progress. This might not be a huge issue in some of the more stabilized assets, but for multifamily, you want to know how the rehab is going on your renovating product. Self-storage, you want to know, hey, were these roofs replaced? Silly things like that, if that's part of the business plan. I don't know if it's necessary on a stabilized property to get reporting on, hey, we tiled this floor in the storage unit down in the basement where the janitor keeps all his materials. That's probably not critical, but looking at like, hey, here's a gazebo we put in, or here's a playground that we put in for the kids. Things like that's pretty important, especially if it was part of your business plan to begin with. Another huge one is occupancy. You want both pre-leased and current. Don't let your sponsor get away with just putting the pre-leased in. That's not okay. You want to know where it's at right now, today, and where it is going to be by month end or by the end of the month or beginning of the month, whatever metric they want to use. Don't let them use one or the other, because you want to check that progress is trending up. Next is projected distribution. DISTR. Let's just do that. Projected distribution. You want to know when you're going to get your money next, right? Like that's pretty basic. Most investors aren't going to let you get away, or most sponsors aren't going to get away with not putting that in there. Most investors want to know when they're going to get paid. So that's kind of obvious. So here's what you can expect on a monthly basis, maybe more. If you have any other ideas, put them down in the comments. I'm always looking for new ways to do monthly reporting. But let's talk about just kind of on an annual basis. Let's talk about annual. What you can expect yearly. Well, yeah, this is definitely going to vary between sponsors. But for one, K1s. Most people are going to give that without even asking. I will say that K1s are supposed to come out near the beginning of the year, right? Like it's previous month's financials. That never happens. I don't know, in all my few years of doing this, I can't even remember when the earliest I've gotten a K1 is. I would suspect that this usually is the earliest is February. But probably March. I know that's crazy to some people who have never filed an extension before, but CPAs are backed up. It's crazy how long things take sometimes. So, especially the good ones. So at K1s on an annual basis, just a regular property review. Things like, here's how we did this year. Here's where we're going next year. Here's our average occupancy. Here's our average rent collected this year. You'll see all that in the financials, but it's nice to have a dashboard of things, like maybe summed up, an executive summary, you could say. That's definitely something that I include or should be included on an annual basis. And then obviously a distribution schedule. You definitely want to know what the plan is moving forward on distributions. Sometimes you need to modify that. Sometimes you want to expedite that. Things like that need to be included in an annual basis. We're just going to call this ongoing. Why is my pencil not working? Here we go. Ongoing. These are things that you just kind of want to check in and do on a regular basis. Calls, email, even texts. Oops, I started to write what I was saying. Texts. So I do this probably quarterly. I try to. Just if I'm driving somewhere and my kids aren't in the car, I'll throw my AirPods in and just call some investors. Usually get a voicemail and just say, hey, how's it going? I just want to make sure everything's going okay. Let me know if you have any questions. This is pretty important with some of the properties that you don't really hear from investors on a regular basis. You want to make sure they're doing okay, make sure things haven't changed dramatically for them, and really just kind of chat with them about how things are going. So, I guess that's really the biggest thing I have now is make sure you're expecting some sort of communication or reporting regularly with your investment. This is not something you want to just let go by the wayside and not really check in on. But most investors, most good operators and sponsors will make sure that you're at least in contact regularly. But so hopefully this video helped you. If it did, definitely like and share this video with some folks that might want to passively invest. I don't really care about the YouTube metrics, but I do care about helping people. And so if you want to give them video content from someone who's not going to try and sell them anything, which is so rare these days, definitely share this video. You can even screenshot it and just text it to them if that's easiest. Typically, if you're listening in the car or something, you don't want to text. So make sure you reach out if I can answer any questions for you. If you have any other ideas on what we should be reporting on as in sponsors of deals, reach out for sure. But with that, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I probably won't put out much content over the next week or so. But if I can do anything to help, please let me know. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks.